lay
Oh,
down and it's
we
out.
we are we're live. We're live on Twitch. What's up, people? Welcome to the broadcast. We're just dipping in. The women's final is over. It was Baker over Cooper, right? Am I getting the names right, Danny? I think
You
that's
are.
about right. That's the Rimstead sisters with Olivia and our friend. Who am I thinking of here? My God.
Kerry and Joel.
Thank you, Jill Myers, who was part of this broadcast at some point. So congrats to that team and whoever else I failed to mention. But we're here with Lal and Wolfson, and we already saw a swing on the first board, right? 10 imps here.
Yeah, there was 10 imps on board one, or board 46, I guess it was, where game could be defeated on a lead but wasn't found at one table. Board 47 was a potential interesting board as well. Maybe we should go to the other table just to see what's happened there on 47.
In fact, we can just take a look at the scorecard. It looks like they're on to 48 as well. 47, it was five clubs doubled in one room in the West and five hearts doubled in the other room, both down two.
Yeah, and I believe
It's very
North-South can take five vulnerable spades, so that was a good save for the East-West pairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, the diamonds
here's
come
the
home
board.
and it's just two heart losers on their head. Wow, very cool. Super preemptive auction there, at least from one side. Actually, from both
Yeah,
sides. Two spades, past four spades, four now. All right, let's get back
East-West
to.
pairs did well to get in the auction and find the save. All right.
So this is a match that I don't think I've broadcast yet, at least not this lineup. I haven't seen Mahmoud and Rosenberg together yet this session or this tournament. So
All right. So let's see. Cloud passes spade, two diamonds, two spades showing four because of a support double
yep.
was not used. And so Zia has an evaluation problem over that. He chooses two no trump, which I'm not sure if that's some sort of ask or a natural game try, non-forcing. He's got a balanced 12 opposite modern opening bids with four triple three. It's, you have a lot of losers as far as making a potential game.
At the other table, Rodwell 11 north south, Becker Camel west and east respectively, and they are playing board 48 right now. And there will be some sort of swing. They're already past the four diamond level that was played in this room for that board.
So here three spades was alerted, showing probably four spades and a max, I'm guessing.
You see three spades alerted?
No. Well, I thought I saw a star there for a second, but maybe not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm guessing
And
two down and three spades are just old-fashioned natural, not non-forcing bids. You don't really need a spiral, so to speak, once partners made a raise in a support double context.
all right, and if you're on Twitch, say hello. We'll be live on YouTube in just a second.
So here the defense have a high diamond, a high heart, a high spade, and a diamond rough. Looks like they'll get a slow club as well.
And we joined kind of halfway through the progress, folks. Just so you know, we these guys didn't play super fast. I promise.
So presumably Z is going to cross to the ace of clubs and take a losing spade finesse. Uh,
There we go.
Garner will be able to play queen of diamonds and a diamond rough for partner. I mean, I guess it's possible for Zia just to shoot the spade finesse, go ace of spades, spade, and hope that North has king third of spades, South has the doubleton, and then there's no diamond rough. But sometimes when you do that, South shows up with king third of spades, and you look kind of silly that way. It's what I would call the reverse of safety play.
Yeah, don't look like an idiot. Safety play, right?
Yeah,
I was grinding some into bridge earlier.
he is choosing the more natural looking line of club with the ace spade finesse.
It's like, hey, you don't want to describe this later? All right, there we go.
Queen of diamonds and a diamond rough.
We are
He
live. on
Even if
YouTube
the
and
even if the
Twitch.
defense takes the ace of hearts on air, the pitch is coming from the club hand and not the long club hand, not the short one.
So the other room, this room on board 48 played four diamonds, making +1. The other room in the north south chair is in five diamonds, doubled.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it looks like
So we'll see a substantial swing either way. It's either going to be
I tell you what, let's just flash over there because we can come back to this table at some point. Here's our opening lead. Here's our double dummy. I haven't seen anything. In fact, is that our opening lead? No, they've played one trick prior to this. So it went,
so the king of spades are roughed.
yeah, King of Spades roughed and then Queen of Clubs. So as you can see, if it goes King 10 or 9, so we're still on track for down one.
Hmm. Can we go back to the auction so we can see how they got to where we
Yeah,
are?
for sure. It
Oh,
was a
the club
club
has spade.
pass a spade. In fact, we'll give it the diagram so you can see all the hands from the beginning. One club by west, pass a spade. Four diamonds by south. Uh, four spades, five diamonds, pass double. Bobby has a really nice hand here for this seat and this vulnerability. You think?
So the good news is the club finesse sort of won. The bad news is that he can't play another club because that's going to get roughed. So he can't really get to the dummy conveniently at this point. Well, he is.
Here he's giving it a shot.
So this will get roughed for sure. And the event still has another club and a diamond to take. I'm not sure why covering the first club would have allowed Bobby to make five clubs.
I think it's just guessing that they're going to play diamond out of their hand, right? And
Yeah.
then they lose one diamond. And is it possible they could only lose one club in that scenario, or no?
Well, it still has to do something with that long club. The hearts aren't going to establish, and
It is kind of weird.
oh, I guess if they take the club, you just
Well, if
they
he
cover the
covers, you
club.
win. Take a diamond finesse.
No, no. If you cover the club, you can lead a club through the void. If they rough in, they're roughing air, and then you can later rough your other club. If they
That's
pitch,
right.
then you just take your club, and then
Yeah,
you get
you can
your
rough your club high and still give up the king of diamonds.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so that's going to be 6 imps to the Walton team. Interesting that both Levin and his counterpart on the other table chose a preemptive action with a very strong south hand. Ace Jack 10 9 7 of the diamonds, Ace King of Hearts, Queen Jack, fourth of clubs. Very strong hand, but
It's the benefit of partner passing one club.
yeah, and favorable vulnerability, and you only have two major suit cards, so you know that the opponents have a big major suit fit. And while they've already found spades in theory, one easy
Yeah,
responds to spades.
maybe
They don't
West
know
can't
what
bid it
level.
before level. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what level they're going to go to at that point.
And they know they have a little bit extra, so they know this will probably be one of those times where their opponents are guessing more often than not because of the values they're holding.
Yeah,
And you just want them to get it wrong. It's like in poker, Danny. You don't care. I mean, you kind of care if you win the pot, but really, you're just hoping they get the decision wrong. Just get it
yeah.
wrong.
One of my poker podcast people says if you've made your opponent think for a long time and they decide on the right action, you still give them a tough choice and you've done your job. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Unless they're thinking about nothing, as we talked about earlier. But
Yeah. Or sometimes you get the fake thing. There was a spot yesterday where I bluffed, and I knew as soon as she started thinking the way she was playing with her chips that she was going to call me.
Hmm.
And it's like, all right, can I have my money back now, please? All right, so now he can rough that. He'll rough the club loser and be down one.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for that in the Twitch. I think Danny covered that probably as you were typing that or right when you were talking about it. Hey, David, what's up? You're up past midnight again. Are we keeping you up with this stuff? Apologize.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times when the World Championships are in awkward hours for Americans. Either
I've
waking up
definitely been up watching it at certain times,
or
especially when it was Veldhoven was one I was definitely watching at some point in weird hours. But now I'm a
that's
Formula One fan, so now it is.
You have to excuse me for a second. I got to take a quick call. I'll
Take
be
your
back.
time, buddy. Take your time. Ooh, we're finally alone, everybody. Look at this. What's up?
How you doing?
So Eric has. Honestly, I think that's a really good evaluation of that north hand. Just opening one diamond. You have a nice 7 card diamond suit. Easy rebid. You do only have 10 points, but ace in one, king in one in those major suits. Cards are working well here. And now you just have two anemic hands in the auction first. A diamond pass a heart. There's 16 total points in the north south hands. Amazing. Mike's like, well, okay. I guess I'm probably going to pass this one here, and North will rebid 2 diamonds. And then, will anyone choose to bid with the East West cards? This is a good question.
Looks like I got a nice day. It's not raining or anything.
And I'm going to mute Danny just so we don't listen to any sort of secret details of. And will they play 2 diamonds? Is the question. I mean, Bobby could bid 2 hearts here, I suppose, but with Singleton King of Diamonds and such a bad hand, he might just want to escape with this, but you couldn't blame him for doing either, and he chooses to pass here. So will they buy it for 2 diamonds with 12 opposite 12? There's 16 points. Yes, okay, well done, Rodwell and Levin. Not even playing precision, but honestly, I think the North End is quite well described and served to open just one diamond, and you find a nice little landing spot where East West just doesn't really have a bid to make, clearly, from the beginning of the hand. I suppose Camel could come in after 2 diamonds and double. He does have clubs and spades. And then they would find a tasty spade fit East West, but there's no necessary understanding of what these North South cards are doing. They don't know they have 16 total points between those 2 hands. Yeah, thanks. If Batherer, if I can tell, if I can, I don't know who that is, but let me know who it was. Yeah, thinking about that for sure. As you type it, we say it. Oh, what's up, Brad? Gotcha. Yeah, so interesting. We'll see what Danny thinks about that when he steps back in, but it's certainly a possibility there. At these colors should just kind of maybe dip in after it goes a diamond, pass a heart, 2 diamonds. Danny, I just put you on mute. We could maybe hear some sort of chatter in the background, so we didn't want to bother you, buddy. You're on mute still, so just unmute yourself and you'll be back in.
Here I am.
Yeah, so we were just talking about this. This a really nice hand here for the North South pairs. They get to buy it for 2 diamonds on these cards. And the talk was that in this auction, sitting in Camel's chair, he has like a 12 count with 4-4 in the black suits. Would you be thinking about pre-balancing? It's tough though because he doesn't know what's happening on his left, right? So
Yeah, I think the East West are sort of frozen out of the auction here.
yeah,
I can see arguments for pass for both of them.
just
You
a
can't really take a double as East and over dime pass a heart. You sort of don't want to double as West either. You have to, you have some
yep,
points and
exactly.
no shape.
It's a super interesting hand for this auction. They just did very, very nicely to open light in the north chair one, and the auction just kind of keeps the opponents at bay. And there you go, down one with 16 high card points. That's not too bad for a day's work. They have a nice spade
Yeah,
fit.
because three spades failed in the other room, they still won. East West still won three M's for
Yeah,
their.
but I I just can't fault that auction. That looked pretty good. I didn't even realize we were at the table ahead. I wasn't even looking at the other room, to be honest, Danny. I was just calling the action here, and that was, whoa, there we go, Mr. Becker. Too bad your partner is preempted in front of you with this hand. But you could still
Yeah.
just be making four spades on some hands.
And
Is he
this
gonna
might be one.
is he gonna bet two spades? Yeah, Jack and one offside.
I mean, he's got six spades, ace of hearts, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and they can build a
Yeah,
long club along the
you
way.
just lose two clubs and a diamond, and that would be just fine. Because
Yep.
he can do that. It looks like if he can't really develop anything. I mean, there it is. Okay,
Shoots out four spades. I sort of like that. It's a
easy hand.
practical. If you bid anything other than four spades and the opponents start competing in hearts, you're going to feel obliged to bid four spades over fours anyway.
At the other table, Michael Rosenberg chose to pass in first chair with the East hander, win a spade, two diamonds, four spades. So that was what happened there. And they are a couple of boards ahead. They're playing board 52 right now at the other table.
So this is good that we're behind. We can get to the comparisons as they come
Yeah,
in.
yeah, that's pretty nice.
So on this sort of auction, you tend to want to lead aggressively. Um, and yet here it goes. He leads passively. I guess with the queen 10 8 fourth of diamonds, he knows that the diamonds aren't going to come in anytime soon.
Yeah,
And leading a round suit into the declarer may not be productive.
that's a good thing to talk to people about. In situations where you think the opponents have a nice source of tricks, you usually want to try to trend toward an aggressive lead. But in this case, what Danny's saying is Eric's hand can kind of see that diamonds aren't going to run for the opponents, so they probably have a little bit more time to develop tricks. So try not to blow one early, and maybe they'll be waiting for you afterwards. So he'll just draw trump and play a heart to the ace and then a club, or what? Is he going to just dock a
Um,
club, play ace of clubs club at some point, and just hope for a 3-2 break?
yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, he's all once he sees spades are three are
4-2.
running, but
Yeah.
for two, he just needs to establish one more trick. And he can always do that with clubs 3-2 no matter what. If clubs are 4-1, and say he crosses to the ace of hearts and leaves a club and gets the bad news that clubs aren't going to work,
Yeah, now he
and
has
can never
opened
enjoy his
himself
king of
up to more
diamonds.
taps.
He just can't ever lead up to the king of diamonds
Yep,
either.
yep.
I mean, he might fail when North has the club stop in the ace of diamonds when he was always called. So he might try a diamond after he runs the.
Welcome from New Zealand. Yeah, midday in the Sunday. Grab a cocktail, enjoy the bridge. We have a
So just trying to work through the numbers here. So if he draws two rounds of trumps, plays a diamond, and takes a losing diamond guess, and the opponents can tap him.
now it goes heart,
Yeah,
and he
he.
wins, and he plays a club.
I'm just trying to figure out whether or not he's one trick ahead of them.
Loses, yeah. Even if that loses, they can tap him once, but then he plays ace of clubs club, and he's home from there, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. This is the sort of hand, by the way, in real life, sometimes I'll actually use my physical cards and move them from one side to the other. And you can't do that on a tablet.
That's all I'm doing. As I'm playing bridge or poker, my hands are always doing something. The chips are crazy for me. I love playing poker with real poker chips.
Robert, I've got my shuffling chips right here
Yeah,
sitting on this.
I used to have that in the apartment in New York. I would have just a stack of 10 or 20 chips just for a little shuffling practice.
Yeah, I've taken to actually picking up chips from all the various casinos I play at. They have a bunch of different colors and shapes
Nice.
inside there. What I like to do is I like to get the weird denomination chips. So like
Like the 250s? Do you have 250s?
there's a $4 chip from New Orleans.
Is that from a limit game for sure?
Actually, this $4 chip is not from a limit game. It's what they use for the drop because they have a $4 drop, so they just produce $4
That's
chips.
amazing. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I do have a 50-cent chip, which you don't see very often. This is from back in the blackjack days when if you bet 25 and you got 3-2.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. I've seen the
Uh,
$2.50 chip for something. I think it was like
here's another
something
one. Here's a
750.
250 from the Borgata.
Yeah.
There's actually back in the day, there's
Is
a
this?
limited hold game. They call it the pink chip game because 250 chips are often pink. And
That's I've played in that whatever game that was. It was probably like Limit Omaha or something like that, where it was 250 or
yep.
yeah.
So
You always know you're getting close to the poker room when you hear those chips ruffling.
yeah, imagine going to the World Series of Poker when it's there are 500 tables in the room and or 300 tables in the room and everybody's shuffling their
Yeah.
chips. Just the sound of the clatter.
Frank asked a good question. Can your partner see you moving your cards? Well, screens no, but even in general, I'm always moving my cards just in general anyway, and spinning them and doing whatever. So I think if you're
Yeah,
consistent with it, if you're doing weird things at weird times, I think there could be an issue for sure.
for me, I don't ever do that on defense. I only do that when I'm the declarer.
Same. Yeah. I'm not
Oh
really
yeah,
doing a
partner
lot of.
sees I'm moving my cards around. The defense might be able to take an inference that he's got different lines of play available. He's trying to play through them all, but
And if I'm doing anything manipulating the cards, usually it's under the table where no one's really
Mhm.
looking.
So
It's
here
just me
we
playing
can see
around.
another benefit of the fast auction to four spades is that Rodwell doesn't have any idea what um,
What he should be pitching. Yeah.
Becker's shape is, other than the fact that Levin was able to give him two spot cards in spades to protect potentially say where his values are, but he doesn't know, for example, that Becker doesn't have a side suit of hearts instead of clubs.
We
He can
have
assume he can assume that if Becker has diamonds, that game is going to make no matter what because he can see six spade tricks and if the diamonds are running that's six spades and three diamonds and the ace of hearts. So he can pretty much place Levin with the ace of diamonds unless maybe Becker has stiff ace of diamonds. I mean, that's something to be considering as well. These are the sorts of things that Rodwell is probably thinking about, although he being a much better player than I am, he's probably thinking about even more things that I'm not thinking about. But
Or
he's
maybe
definitely
he's just taking a nap. We can't confirm anything yet, but pretty much he's right on the lines of what Danny's talking about there. 20 points is the margin. Lal ahead of Wolfson. And again, this table, Rodwell, Levin, Becker, Camel, and at the other table, Garner, Berkowitz, Mahmoud, Rosenberg. And if this takes a little bit longer, we'll switch over when they start their next board there. They're currently just playing a part score on board the 53.
uh-huh.
That makes us kind of, nearing the halfway point of this match. So 20 imps, not a lot between these two teams.
So one of the things, and this has been mentioned before, is that a lot of the partnerships, he does conclude that diamonds is safe or safest to pitch.
And there it is.
One of the things about this event is you get a lot of non-standard partnerships. Becker and Campbell played together regularly for many years, and of course, Zay and Rosenberg are one of the best pairs in the world for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Rodwell and Levin and Garner and Berkowitz are not practice partnerships at all.
In fact, they are parts of other historic partnerships, Meckwell
Yeah.
and Levin Weinstein. So
Mhm.
and it's just because
And
Weinstein, you would think he's old enough to play in this, but he's not. He's definitely not old enough to play in the seniors. And Eric and Jeff broke up around the pandemic time.
so Rodwell did pitch a club. Now declare is going to be able to split out the clubs and make five.
All right, one imp. So they've caught up here, or at least no, they haven't caught up, but they've they've started playing at least, so they're not just sitting there.
So yeah, why is he not? Oh, I guess he's going to go through the perfunctory idea of leading up to the king of
Yeah,
diamonds.
try to score an extra trick on. All right, one imp for Wolfson. So 19 now. Every little bit helps. And here we go. That's a no trump opener for Bobby right there. And then one no,
Mhm.
three no is probably in the offing here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you do have a 4-4 hard fit, but both not just one partner is 4-3-3, but both of them are.
Yeah.
Those hands tend to play better in 3 no trump than 4
In,
major.
in fact, it's not shocking to just get a little quick read on the hand of the other room is down in 3 no because they're both. We saw a hand earlier, Danny, where both are 4-3-3 and they had like 27 or something. It could make 3 no, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering why you declare one down at 3 no though.
Because it looks like three hearts, three diamonds for six, two spades, and a club.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering also. Let's find out. Or at least let's see what happens here first. I can take a look at this action from the other table. It was
I'm
Berkowitz and
confused as
Gardner.
to
So it
unless
was,
somehow the defense led clubs
well, they
got
led
everything.
hearts initially, and it went heart to the king, and then club through to the queen,
Yeah.
and then club 10 back, ducked, and then club, boom,
Oh, I
to
see.
the
Yeah, okay.
ace, and now they
And we
just
haven't knocked out the spade yet. Yep, yep.
exactly right. So club switch does get it,
Yeah.
and
I
here they
see.
can still accomplish that once they take the losing heart finesse, right?
Yeah. I was focused on the spades as the east-west sorts of tricks and not the
Yeah, I've
clubs.
noticed the clubs.
The queen ten of clubs being over the ace jack is what.
See, folks, even when we're looking at the damn hand, sometimes it takes a second to figure out what's going on. And
So here, Levin will probably win the queen of diamonds, leaving a, oh no, he wins the ace of
one
diamonds.
ace.
I think he would win the queen of diamonds, leaving it open to Camel to think that that Becker had led from the ace fifth of diamonds.
So he knocks out the spade first,
Hmm.
kind of disguising the fact that he might, well, whatever. It's not necessarily disguising anything, but he hasn't committed to playing hearts yet, so that's a little bit less information.
Yeah, well, when Campbell wins this trick, he's going to know there's not much future in diamonds because the king jack of diamonds is over even potential
And
partner's queen.
clubs look awful tasty from this side, folks, considering what we
Yeah.
talked about earlier. That's that nice weak suit in the dummy. He has king fourth. His partner has some stuff. You might get some tricks there.
Well, he might be tempted to just duck this spade and
Sure.
then win the next spade and clear spades.
Yep.
But if he ducks this spade, it won't be in clean tempo. In other words, Levin will know where the ace of spades is and potentially why Campbell's ducking it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point in the chat. Also, they might not. They might discount the ace of diamonds from left-hand opponent just because of the point count. But Levin didn't necessarily know how that's distributed, but Camel
Hmm.
might know.
So here Campbell wins and finds the club shift. So
There it
I guess
is.
it's
Yep. And if
a
we
flat
if we
3 no down.
DDS, there it is. Boom. That's the killing lead. Nicely done. And notice this is a little different than the one we looked at earlier, what happened at the other table. This time he has the hard entry, right? So either way, he's going to have an entry for this nice long club as long as Becker returns clubs and sets up their long trick here. They'll get him with that
Yeah.
king of hearts no matter what. And boom, down one for a nice push in bridge vernacular.
So Levin's thinking about, normally you would think, all right, I'll just duck the club if right-hand opponent has the 10 of clubs, then the low club will force an honor from West. But one of the things he's considering is that if Campbell had, say, king 10 8 fourth or queen 10 8 fourth or queen 10 8 third of clubs, he might have shifted to the 10 of clubs surrounding that nine. Do you
Well,
see what I'm saying, Rob?
I,
And
I
maybe
am so sorry, Danny. I'm looking at an exciting board that's on the horizon, board 54. So,
all right. Well,
uh,
picture East with 10 queen 10 8 of clubs, he would shift to the 10 of clubs. And now, even if the
gotcha.
card comes with the jack, he's got the queen eight over the 9-7. So that's one of the things Levin was thinking about was maybe he shifted into a club from king queen empty, hoping to hit partner's 10. And that's why Levin was considering putting the jack in.
Very nice. I was not paying attention, but the people in the chat certainly were, and they like the inference, and they say absolutely right. But yes, something's coming. That's interesting.
Back to the diamonds.
There you go.
And now Declare can just take the heart finesse and only making it.
Yep. And that will be 2 in the bank, and then 3, 5, 6, 7 more in the offing, and a quick claim. Bobby's happy about that, and he should be. Lal is taking a nice chunk of change with that one. 10 imps. 29 is the lead. And, we have a couple of boards to kind of ho-hum through, and then we'll have an interesting one. However, I'm sure there's other interesting stuff in the offing. I just was distracted by one board in particular. Becker's just going to open one club here, and then you like a one spade overcall, I'm assuming.
I don't love a one spade overcall. I have to say,
Sorry.
Jack 6-5-2 is not my idea.
Would you make it though and not love it? And
I
even
might
with these
hold my
colors,
breath and overcall one spade. I might even make a takeout double. I mean,
takeout double's a nice, almost like splitting the difference, but it's still only like a 9 count, right? I don't know.
yeah.
All right, yeah, Jarek just
Probably
passed.
goes for the just a straightforward pass.
Let me see what they were doing at the other table actually. So it went a club, a spade, and then there was just all north-south bidding to 4 spades from there.
Yeah.
Quite aggressive.
So this start might end up freezing north-south out of the auction entirely. Yeah, I mean, I don't see Rodwell, things getting better for Rodwell for bidding now.
Right, after they've bid a
The
heart
king,
to his
queen,
left.
jack of clubs as being a lot of his high card points isn't going to want to disturb that. So we're going to see a very quiet 2 clubs in
Yeah,
this.
exactly. And kind of any way you slice it, it's either going to be a push-ish or a small win for north-south maybe. Or sorry, excuse me, east-west, excuse me.
So defense has 2 clubs, a heart, a spade, and a diamond. I'm guessing they're making 2 clubs.
And that means 90 for them.
It's kind of a odd push if it's 90, right?
Right.
Well, we were in this vulnerable game, went down on a rough. Oh, our teammates are plus 90. Okay.
We had
Yeah, I think the defense needs to find it has 2 diamond winners in a presumed 4 spade contract. It has 2 diamond winners, the ace of clubs, and it needs to get that heart rate. Oh no, I'm sorry. 2 diamonds, a club, a spade, and then the heart rough would be for down 2. Never mind. Yeah. That's one of the dangers of rubber calling one spade with that north hand is that your partner's going to take you quite seriously when they do that.
And that's exactly what happened at the other table, Danny. It went one spade, and then it's like, okay, try to convince me not to bid game now, and he couldn't.
Yeah, I think you can probably get away with making 2 game tries and giving up in 3 spades. Oops. We just lost the screen.
Oh, gotcha, Danny. I'm not sure what that was, but you'll be right back in business. There we go. All right. The other table is on board 55 now, steaming through the boards here, just at board 52. Is Levin... Levin's not necessarily a slow player, right?
No,
Eric would
no.
be more toward the deliberate variety, maybe.
Eric is clearly the slowest player of the 4.
Got it.
Mike Becker can be very deliberate as well. Mike
So,
Gamble, clearly the fastest player of the 4 too.
you said you're quite familiar with Camel, right?
Yeah, he and I go back to the early 80s. When I first started playing bridge, he was the up and coming star of the club at a very young age.
Yeah, I
That
remember those years. I'm not very attractive now, but I was really ugly in those 1980s years. It was a tough, tough time.
that club was also the birthplace, the bridge birthplace of Marty Fleischer, whose
Oh,
team
there you go.
team won the Open Trials.
Yeah. It's like a cauldron of bridge excellence.
Yeah.
The junior house produced a heck of a lot of good bridge players, also. I think it's
Oh yeah.
probably mainly due to the fact I mean, they obviously played a ton of bridge, but they also got to sit there and talk about bridge after every
Hmm.
day, and pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that's the best way to learn almost any game is to find a group of like-minded and intelligent people and discuss it. Same thing is true with poker.
Yep.
If you find a group to discuss hands and run ideas through.
And be introspective and kind of and be open to help from other people. That's the really big thing.
Yeah.
Some people think they've figured everything out, and those are always the worst players, to be honest. In every game.
All right.
All right,
Declare as playing three tricks.
there we go. So 90 and 100 is all the same, no matter which contract you play in. It is a push.
Yeah, the East-West pair will be very disappointed to lose that in a border match.
Yeah, look at this one.
All right.
This isn't
So
even the hand I was talking about, but it's going to go probably. Well, I don't know. Would he upgrade that to a no trump, or do they play 14? No, just the club. They play just normal 15 to 17 no trump. Then I'm guessing.
I'm sure they would upgrade a good 14, but this is just sort of a medium 14 with a
Yeah,
modest five-card suit. And
but
yeah,
just one heart, which
so I
is
don't know.
sure we could see this bid several different ways by many different experts. The choices here with this hand, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I like just one heart. I
me
mean, you
too.
don't know enough about the hand that you want to start preempting with a hand that strong,
Yeah,
with Parker being an unpassed hand. Levin chooses not to make a negative double. He doesn't have values that he would have responded, but a negative double voluntarily on these colors, you want to be a little more sound. And
and there's nothing precluding him from coming in later if necessary, so he knows that it's unlikely just to go check, check, check.
well, the big reason you want to respond with these hands is in case partner has like a really strong just hand just short of a two club opening. You don't have to worry about that when it goes a club of heart because partner gets another chance. Little surprised Michael goes with only two hearts, but I mean, he does have a bunch of losers, and his single and ace of clubs is not really where he'd want to have his side values, given partner's got a club stopper over there. He can see a lot of pointed suit losers potentially.
And Becker's probably not going to venture much further unless
Now,
he
yeah.
feels.
I mean, Camel's sequence should show some constructive values because he could have overcalled the preemptive two hearts and
Right,
chose not.
right. The fact that he didn't bid two hearts with extra hearts, which he now knows he has here.
Yeah, so he knows his partner's got a sound overcall
Mm-hmm.
with six hearts. Here at seven, but he knows at least about the six of them.
All these inferences for you listening out there, folks, are super important, right? That's why you see people taking time at the bridge table, right? We're thinking about, okay, well, what were the options that they had? Well, now that we know they have six hearts, why did they bid it this way? Why didn't they jump to two hearts? Well, it's for one reason or another. Usually, it was probably either too good for two hearts.
Now, Becker might actually think that his hand is worth another move, and I
Yeah, it's
wouldn't.
interesting, right?
I
Even the
mean,
Jack of
his
Hearts looks useful, possibly.
Jack of Hearts fills in partner's suit, and he
Yeah,
does pass.
and he passed.
The only issue is his king of clubs is potentially under the club bidder, but
Yeah, and for that matter, the opening bidder is also in position for the King of Diamonds. Also,
Mhm.
all right. So not too much excitement on this one.
6, 7, 9. It looks like four hearts is not that unreasonable anyway.
That's what your buddy in the chat is saying as well. He says, I think exactly what you're thinking. If Declare gets to pitch a spade on a club and guesses the diamonds right.
Right. It just basically comes down to a diamond guess. I
Yep.
mean, don't see too much else to it.
No, I mean if you're in for it, it's much more interesting. But here it might just be one imp.
Right. And the diamond guess, presumably based on the auction, you're going to get it wrong. However, can if declarer can postpone the guess and find out about all the side high card points in North's hand, he can then count the declarer that North
I
has.
suppose he could find out about the spades if he just plays like spade, spade.
Right. He can find out that North has 11 points outside of diamonds, and therefore he does not have the ace of diamonds when he has a balanced hand
Because he
and
probably
gets
would have
left
opened a no
points.
trump. Yeah, interesting.
Right.
So let's see if we're right. Now we wish we were sitting in Camel's chair now for our play with the declare.
We wish we were in four hearts because then it would really,
Yes, now it makes even more sense for the exercise.
once again, this is the sort of hand that a border match would be a nail biter. And imps, it's yes, there's an imp at stake, and that could change the match, but
Yeah, we won't find out for another 67 boards.
yeah.
All right, so that should be pretty revealing right there. The Queen of Spades. They're playing Rusinow for sure, right?
Well, no, it wasn't a trick two. I'm not sure exactly what he can infer from the Queen of Spades. He
Okay.
might, Rodwell
Maybe
might be
he's
already in tune to the hand and know
maybe he's
that,
disguising.
yep, yeah, and he was.
I mean, if so, that's a great play. Yeah, nice. Wow.
All right.
Rodwell's like, well, you're not going to place the King of Spades in my hand, so good luck getting the diamond, right?
Yeah. I mean, he could have
I thought for
Cameron
some
could
reason
have
they just
exited a spade and played around a little bit before he went and took the guess, but he just chose to
all
make one
right.
for
So look at this one, Danny.
All right, here we go. This is the one you were talking about when that's exciting
Yeah,
looking.
this is the one that distracted me when you were giving some terrific analysis. This
So, yeah.
it's you're off a key card in the Queen of Trumps, so or sorry, you're off two key cards in the Queen of Trumps. You're never gonna sniff a slam, um, but it
Well,
could be
you're
a
going to be
trouble hand.
sniffing a slam. Whether you bid one or not
Yeah,
is a long way from here to there. But so the West Hand is not one you'll see in any textbook. Like, how do you handle this hand when partner on
exactly.
this page? Do you bid
How?
two no trump? Do you bid two hearts? You certainly one thing I would not do is splinter. I mean, I
No,
could see
that's you don't want
doing
to
that.
chew up room, right? You want to have, but two no, you're almost assured they're gonna hear three hearts, right? You can almost prepare for that. But if
You
you
can,
don't,
yeah. You're likely to buy hard shortness opposite when you have this hand.
yeah,
And that could be enough to just you're still gonna be looking for slam potentially.
yeah, because
I
it's
mean,
such a
if
freak
your
of a
partner
hand.
can have the ace queen of spades
Yeah.
instead of the king jack of diamonds, and you just might have, say partner has ace queen six of spades, king queen ten fourth of clubs, and three low diamonds.
Yeah.
Now six spades starts to become very attractive.
So let's see the variety here. Is this just the full game force, or is it, one of the
Yeah,
other
the Michaels
versions?
tend to be pretty old fashioned, so I'm guessing this is going to be 100% game forcing.
Yeah.
And how they respond to, their response package may still be a more modern version of just not
Yeah, yeah. The more
of
robust
showing.
version. Yeah. Which is honestly, for those of you that have been playing Jacoby Tuno Trump for a long time and are comfortable with it, upgrading that is not the worst idea to start. But again,
Yeah,
it's
I,
it's it's high hanging fruit because it's not an auction that occurs as often as some of the other stuff. Sorry, Dan.
right. And I think that people spend, if I'm going to sit down and have an hour to discuss system with a partner, one of the things I would definitely do is say, let's just play old fashioned Jacoby Tuno Trump,
Yeah,
not spend a lot of time on this because, it's better to have the more modern version, but it's also better to talk about more important things than this.
exactly what I'm saying. Like you're not going to want to spend 2 hours on slam bidding and 20 minutes on what we do after the opponent's double. You want to reverse that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the stuff that's just going to come up more often.
Yeah. And the stuff that comes up the most often is actually defensive card play, which
Yep.
if you plot the convention card in the order in which it is printed, and you go to the defensive card play last, you usually don't have enough time for that. All right, so her three couple probably just showed any minimum, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
mean, so yeah, I mean,
They're going to play
it's
four
sort of a
spades.
minimum, but now he's going to be able to be aggressive later on in the auction, given that he's limited his hand.
Yeah.
But boy, that's an awfully nice looking hand to call a minimum.
I know, right? That's what I'm thinking. Avoid and 13 working points with.
Yeah, and you've got some good texture. Your ace 10 9 fifth of spades can't be bad. King queen 10 fourth of clubs. Your jack is in the suit with the king. That's like this hand
Does he
feels like
does it feel like he just anticipates partner having hearts here and just taking it easy for now, and then he will really go the extra mile later?
I mean potentially, but usually when partner bids Jacoby to no trump, they're balanced.
Yeah, good question. In the Twitch chat, is expert standard nowadays here to play something like three clubs on all minimums? And yeah, and then also you can play some bids that show guarantee shortness, and then three hearts and three spades can be different things.
Right. You can what you can do is you can bid three clubs of all minimums and then have an asking structure after that to find out about singletons and five card suits and
So so now the question is he going to show a void in this situation? He's not. Good. It's 4-0. Sounds like it was just key card.
yeah, and he just showed one. I'd be very nervous just showing one and then signing, partner bids five hearts ass. I mean, who didn't ask, right?
Yeah,
Of
he
course.
just went five
But
spades.
I'd be very nervous about passing five spades here.
Yeah, well,
But
it's nice to know. I guess from Mike Becker's point of view, it's nice to know the partner's a minimum, and now he gave it. If he heard two key cards, he would probably
yeah, he would have asked over two. I mean, obviously, from his perspective, there's no reason to assume his partner has a hard void, although he wouldn't be shocked to see that he does.
right.
Right. So
So it looks like a very nice push as long as they just guess spades correctly. it's
yeah,
I mean
an exciting board, but in the end, it's
it's
just
just a 5 level contract. Ooh, wait.
yeah.
Let's look from one void to another. Here we just jumped to the other table, which is on board 47 right now, and it went a diamond on
Mhm.
this hand. A spade overcall, which is aggressive. Even white, I don't know. I guess it's not that aggressive white, but still.
Yeah.
Double pass three diamonds. Three spades looking for some sort of no trump, probably.
Hmm.
And they will
Well,
find it.
at the very least, even if it's not looking for nut trump, it's a force. He wants to force the
Yep.
game.
Yep. It's a good hand opposite
And
three diamonds.
Rosenberg's first obligation will be to show a spade stopper if he has one, which he has
Very
two.
good point.
And now Zia will just gonna give up, I guess. I mean,
Yep.
he has a sort of hand that, you could imagine six clubs being good if partner had four clubs, but when they jump to three diamonds, they probably don't have four
Yeah.
clubs.
Unfortunately for. Yeah, it's not even that bad, but it stinks when
Yeah.
when declare shows out. You never feel good about this lead.
No, and this
It's
hand's
gonna
gonna
roll
play for
itself. Yeah, it just has the diamond finesse on for that can be
diamonds
11
on three
tricks.
diamonds. So it's 6, 8, 9, 11, and I guess he has
Maybe some free cheddar with the spade heart situation, but
just lead up to the jack of spades. Queen, the queen of spades is marked for being on those left.
yeah, yeah, you could take 12 easy here. As long as he just takes the diamond finesse, that'll probably work itself out pretty normally to that point, right?
Yeah, I mean
He'll
I
know
assume
it's
he's gonna win the club, take a diamond finesse.
yeah,
Get the good news in diamonds.
and then he has lots of time to do anything he wants. Still tricks in the dummy.
Yeah, and just leads a spade up to the jack. Yeah, so I'll take three spades, a heart, two clubs, and six diamonds.
It's nice when we're at this side of the table. Easy game.
Yeah, well, we can see everything's behaving well.
But really, we also can see that he doesn't really have much of a choice otherwise. Like the only suit you're building tricks in is diamonds, and the best way you're going to do that is to take a finesse. So it's gonna end up working itself out quite lovely for Michael and whomever else chooses to play 3-0 from this side. Except I don't know, on a spade lead, I guess they still take they get given a trick essentially, and they still take a diamond finesse. But
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to lead to trick one will be one
could
on the
lead to an
dummy.
interesting end play at the end. But who knows?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's all possible. But trick
Yeah,
one will be one on the dummy, and then a diamond finesse will be taken, and declare will take a bunch of tricks. So I
yeah.
don't think it's going to be.
It's weird that it's taking this long to throw down, but only 11 total tricks for declare in five spades, so one imp for lol
Hmm.
on the wacky hand.
I don't know if there was some sort of safety play in spades or roughing finesse or something that
I
I
mean,
wasn't.
this team is pretty sick, Danny. You have Rodwell Levin on one side and Zia and Michael Rosenberg on the other. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a pretty damn good lineup to come to any tournament with.
Yeah, all multiple world champions.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
all
Berkowitz
Bermuda Bowl
in
winners
there.
as well, I
Yeah,
believe.
I think you're right. Bobby, one of the youngest world champions ever, if not still the youngest. I can't remember.
I think Klukowski might have eclipsed his
Maybe.
record.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bobby won at the old Rytown Hilton in the 1980s.
No way. There was a world championship there.
There was a Bermuda Bowl. I think that was the last Bermuda Bowl on American
I
soil.
got stuck in in the Rytown Hilton's elevator during a regional there at some point when I was probably like in my teens or 11, 12 years old, something like that. That's all I remember about that place. Bad elevators.
So what happened here? We missed a trick. How did North-South get in?
There it was.
Oh, he didn't play the diamonds from the top. It's interesting.
So I went club to the ace and he just played diamonds. So
Not sure why I did that because he could lose to two diamond tricks to eight to queen ten fourth on the side. I don't know.
maybe he's
Don't
just
know what.
making sure nine on every possible situation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with diamonds 4-2, he's still going to be okay. And if the diamonds were 5-1, he might have gone down by taking a finesse and losing to the stiff queen
Yeah.
offside. I
And
mean,
someone's saying in the chat, yeah, three clubs over two no trump in the kind of the expert standard. If it's showing a minimum, yeah, it's not necessarily the worst opening hand, right? Because I think you can still in a lot of systems just bomb four major with those worst hands. So we're just talking like minimum.
right. My standard for that particular call is that if I have a king, if you take away a king from one of my suits and I'd still up in the bidding, then I show extras.
Yeah,
So another way to look at it is I use like the rule of what 23 for that.
don't give me any more new rules. I'm an
So
old
like
dog now.
think of the rule of 20 and then you add a king to it. So if you have a rule of 23 hand, you can show extra. So in that sense, I mean, he did have 13 and 9 in his two suits, so he only had 22. So if he was using my guidelines, he would have made the same call. But
All right, so there is plus 630, and that gives us three boards left to go, at
yeah,
least at this table here. And we see a lot of red cards in Michael's hand. Huh. He'll pass probably, but what do you think, Danny? What would you do?
yeah, this is an awkward hand. It's an in-betweener. You
Yep.
have a good amount of offense, probably too much. Your suit's not very good for a preempt.
Yep.
Passing doesn't feel good, especially with when you have the heart suit and a stiff
It
spade.
feels slightly better passing vulnerable, but still, I feel like I would open one heart more often than any other action, I suppose. Michael Rosenberg called tournament director. This could
Because
be
he doesn't like
anything.
his hand and doesn't know what to do, so he's calling it
Exactly.
director.
I would appreciate that, to be fair.
Director, I don't know what to do. No, of
Sub,
course not.
sub.
Okay.
This could be any number of things. But I mean, if he passes, Berkowitz just has some action no matter what he chooses to do on his right. But
Right.
and they look like they have. I mean, as the cards lay, they can make a lot of no trump, as it turns out, just because they
Well,
can take
Berkowitz
six
has the sort of
clubs.
hand that you want to put in the no trump family, having shown club. So you would open a club and rebid two no trump potentially. Although
Yeah,
backing one twice in the red suits isn't so great.
no kidding.
Your hand is
Luckily
kind
for him, it's going
of
to go a club of diamond probably. So, but honestly,
yeah.
I think Michael's. What do you think? Is it a coin flip, or do you think he's just not going to act? Like, do you think he's? We can
If I
gamble on this one.
he's going to act,
You think he's
but
going to act? Okay.
I guess it's just a little too conservative
I
and
just
up.
I think he's going to open a heart.
Yeah, I don't think I think one might be stretching the Zia Rosenberg style as to opening bids. So we'll see. I mean, this is, if we were doing this and we could poll of our viewers and how the
We
responses
can.
would
I have software that does that actually.
yeah.
I need to. That's the next step in this. Yeah, you open two. Nice, interesting.
He alerted it, so I think they might be playing two
Oh,
levels
maybe
of.
it's a constructive week two. Okay, that's a nice option. That makes it easy.
Yeah, for sure.
That
He's
is
going to do that.
certainly a constructive week two. That's a nice description of this hand. So
So now Berkowitz is too strong to overcall three clubs, so he starts with a double.
yeah,
Uh,
West might yeah
Zia,
bid three with this hand with King X of Hearts and an outside king. And now will this be any sort of no responsive double? Not quite good enough. He doesn't think.
no, he clearly doesn't have enough. He doesn't have a fourth spade. He doesn't have. He only has seven high card points. But Berkowitz is
No,
going
it's
to.
gonna go something by David here.
Yeah.
Do you think it's in four club bid?
No, I think it's another double
You
because
think
we
it's
really
another double?
love to hear partner bid three now Trump.
Hi, Rob and Danny. What do you think of Augustin Madala? I think he is a fantastic bridge player, and I'm looking forward to see what he does in Argentina in his home world championship.
Yeah, I recall. I think it was. I want to say it was 2003. My first time at a Bermuda Ball slash Venice Cup and Company, and he was there as representing his country at 16 years old or something
That's
like that.
amazing. Yeah, Lucio de Chazal. Gracias por pregunta.
All right, so Four Clubs has ended the auction, and that looks like what they're going to make.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Berkowitz, the 10 tricks he can make in,
Are similar to the 10 you can make in no Trump.
although 300 Trump does not exactly have a lot of bells on it because you don't only have the one immediate entry to the north
Yeah,
hand.
so you need king in one on. I mean, you're getting the dream scenario, so it's not the one you're gonna like to be in, but it just one so happens that you're gonna look at and say, "Oh, that was makeable."
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I think we should definitely see it, look at this hand when they circle around it at the other table to see first of all what East does, and that'll be Camel in that chair, and then how we proceed from there. This could be an interesting one. This hasn't been too exciting of a set, Danny. We have. Let me give you the scorecard so far. I guess it has been pretty good. Sorry, because we did have the couple swings early, but it's 20-21, so 41 imps scored. Not
There have
massive.
been some, obviously this board, even if it doesn't produce a swing, has had a lot of potential
Yes.
swing actions. Two hearts didn't have to be opened. The double seems normal. Zia didn't have to raise the three hearts with just two picture cards in his hand and only a Dumbleton heart. It's sort of a little bit of a risky play. And
Yeah.
then, Fritz could have chosen to be up and double to try to get the 3-0 or not. I guess, you re up him with a double with this hand to his Berkowitz and you see partners four diamond bid and you just sort of want to puke.
Well, and just getting back to Madala real quick, he's also he's one of the guys you see around a bridge tournament that always has a smile on his face, and it's just a super nice guy and gentleman, and you can tell he likes what he does. So the other table is playing board 56,
You want
and
to jump
these.
across there because there's nothing to the play here.
Yeah,
I, I,
sure.
I
This.
yeah. When I say there's nothing to the play, I guess let's hold
Yeah,
on one
let's
second.
sit tight here. We can always we'll circle back to the other one. It looks like they're well.
So
It'll be interesting. We'll see what they do with this hand over there.
from Zia's perspective, he got the six of hearts on his partner's king of hearts lead, which sort of looks like it's I don't know, he could have given partner of the lowest heart to suggest the ace of diamonds, and maybe they would play diamond, diamond, diamond. And it turns out that East West don't have the club spots to promote a trump trick and diamonds.
Yeah, they need to slide that 10 across the tablet. Um, yeah, they're playing what looks to be a pretty straightforward 3-0 that they made four at this table, and they're gonna make four or five with the lay of the cards over there.
All right, so Berkman's going to win this, cross the ace of hearts, take the confidence, blah, 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 blah,
And
blah.
then it's just hand over, and we're on to board 59.
Yep.
So Danny, you said you played in a bunch of the world events like in Philly and other places like that. Like Have you ever played in a Bermuda Bowl or
No, never come close to representing the U.S. in any of the events. The best I've done in a world event is I made the last 16 in the Rosenblum, losing to Balicki and Smadzinski,
that's
among
pretty
other
awesome.
polls, and
Oh,
then
losing to that team, yeah, okay.
lost to the in the round of eight in the mixed teams in Lille, losing to Pepsi and a different set of polls. That was actually, I believe that was Reese Milner's team, who we're seeing here. Reese Milner is on the Hemant Law team.
Yep.
Freudian slip there. All right, 130
All
and
right.
on to, oh,
And here we go. 11 in the Reds for Zia, and Garner will have something to do after he opens a diamond, most likely.
yeah, so it's going to go past a diamond. I'm sure Zia would never consider opening his hand to heart, even though there's actually discussion about opening five-card majors in front of six-card minors on pitch winners right now.
Is there really? Because this doesn't look like the hand I would want to do that with. My ace, king, 10, 6, the diamonds. I mean,
I'd want to do it on a hand like ace, king, queen, 10, fifth of diamond, hearts, six little diamonds, and like a stiff ace, where it's
yeah,
just
yeah. Or just give me a 9 count in that sort of shape, and I'll acquiesce. I'll open my major, I guess. But
so Garner can choose between
2 and
two,
3.
three clubs or pass. I mean, pass seems kind of conservative. That
Yeah.
juicy.
Wouldn't you defer to 2 with this shape? But he passed anyway. Okay, cool. He's just leaving it out there
Surprised that equal white and with that well
with
textured
such a good suit too. All right.
Suez will have a free run. So we'll see Zia reverse to two hearts. Rosenberg will presumably bid two no trump, which will say, I have a negative response to reverse, and I just want to get out if you don't have a game
And then
force.
Zia will bid 3 hearts to that, most likely to pattern out and show his good 6-5, and
Yeah,
they'll play
and then
4
Rosenberg
hearts.
four hearts. That seems like the likely auction, unless they
Okay.
have other artificiality we don't know about it. Two no three hearts, four hearts seems pretty normal here.
It looks like it's a pretty. Well, it depends on what they lead, actually.
Well, you don't have an immediate entry to the dummy, but they're going to lead a high club, and you'll get one.
Yeah, and then you can take a hard finesse, and also you can actually successfully.
Rough a
No,
diamond.
you can't. You can't end up doing it because the 8 of hearts will. You'll end up either losing a heart, I think, or a diamond. I believe it looks like you're trading, possibly.
So here we see that tuna trumpet is alerted as saying, could be
Could be
weak.
weak. Yep. This is like another form of Lebensal or Lebensal. How do you pronounce it?
I pronounce it Levinsoll, but All right, so Zia
Just bids 4 hearts.
a little bit here with just the straight four heart call, and not sure. I guess it's possible that over his two-note trump bid, that three hearts would have been non-forcing,
Maybe.
so that's why he needs to bid four hearts. That makes some sense to me.
And he's not. He's like, look, we're gonna play game either way,
Hmm.
and this will get to shake a spade, and then he will likely just take a heart finesse, and I guess he could. No, he could do it, Danny. Sorry, he could take a heart finesse, draw 2 rounds of trump, and rough out a diamond. That would work.
Yeah, he's going for the diamond rough right away.
That will end up losing him a trump trick if he roughs with the 6 of hearts or the 8 of hearts. Oh, okay. So now he's gonna
He roughed it with a
north pitched, so he gets to play jack of hearts from dummy, and that'll get him everything but the spade here.
yeah. All right.
It's hard to know that mattered from Garner's perspective. Like, hey, I'm supposed to rough here to disrupt this.
Well, it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, you're roughing with your partner has longer hearts than you
you're
do.
roughing
Sometimes
with a card that's irrelevant essentially. So why not?
your trump is a loser. You might as well use it
Yeah.
to promote a spot in partner's hand. If he had four little hearts, where there's a spot where potentially declarer could end up tapping themselves out, or weird things can happen, that would be different. But not really sure what the club pitch accomplished here.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. All right, so that is maybe a thing or two for them. Uh, Scorecard so far They pushed the 3-no trump on board 56. It looks like they're going to push the 3-no trump, or yeah, it looks like, well, let's see. So they might not push this one, but they did lead a spade. Let me just flash to this real quick while I talk about it. We remember this hand, Danny. This is where we led the king of clubs at our table, but here they've led a spade, which is still going to hook them up with the ability to finesse diamonds and take some tricks, but they won't get the extra club.
Yeah, but at the same time, perhaps Camel will just take the diamond finesse instead of making the more safe
That's
play.
true. I forgot about that, Danny. They didn't take the diamond finesse. They played diamond to the ace king and then diamond. So let's see. There she blows. All right.
Three spades, a club and heart is 11.
Yep. So they'll make at least 11 there. That'll be a little extra cheddar for them. Here's the ultimate board, and it looks like it's a stinker again. They're gonna play game here, I guess, but it'll just be either four hearts or three no.
Yeah, I suspect Rosenberg will have a way to um, give partner choice between three now and four hearts, given
Yeah, he'll,
his.
he'll make some sort of game for us and show a balanced three card heart raise or something like that.
And you, if you picture a partner with, say, like queen and one or ten and one spade and well stocked in the minors, he might want to just play three now instead of
Sure.
four. Here with ace and one club and king queen third and partner's first bid suit, he might, and I think Z might end up choosing four hearts if Rosenberg is able to give him a choice.
Well, we've seen a lot of examples today, just you and I, Danny, with these sorts of shapes that are in Michael's hand here, these 4-3-3 shapes. So it's definitely worth a little discussion if you can figure out maybe 10 isn't in the offing in our major, but 9 is in no trump.
Right. You don't have any roughing values. The only roughing value it turns out you have is the ability to stop the opponents from taking club tricks.
Right.
Values in the long hand. That doesn't produce extra tricks for your side, but it stops them from running five, say, four clubs in the ace of
Yeah.
spades.
So here, 2 diamonds is likely some sort of artificial bid. 3 spades is probably a maximum with 3 spades, you would guess.
It certainly looks like that.
This looks like old school stuff here.
Yeah, the problem with three spades, unless they have some sophisticated methods here,
Yeah,
is
he just gets it there.
if Rosenberg was slamming in hearts, we've taken up a lot of room here. Now they might be able to bid four clubs to say I've got a good heart hand, and four diamonds to say I've got a good spade hand or whatever. But here it's not going to matter. They're
Yeah,
just going to.
yeah, and they're going to be happy where they've landed for sure.
And it looks like you lose a spade and a club, and you can pitch one of your minor suit losers on the 13th spade.
And this is going to be pretty fun. He's going to end up end playing 11 on this hand. I'm going to switch to it. Watch this. He's going to just play.
Yeah, spade, 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 and 11 will.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't need
Oh,
to.
sorry.
Right?
I see the ace of hearts is still in the dummy as well. So this is.
He just has.
He just has a way to get an extra trick. Okay, not as exciting as I thought.
All right. So he'll win the club. Presumably draw. He might. I guess there's some risk in ducking the club of spades or 5-1.
Yeah, they haven't found their potential rough yet. Don't give them a chance to do it by ducking a club.
Yeah, I mean, if Garner for some reason had either a singleton or ace fifth of spades, he would know from the auction that spades were 5-1.
Yep.
He would not have led the king of clubs if he had ace fifth of spades. He might have just gone right for the spade rough right away.
Camel, here you go. Camel, a passer of the East End.
Okay, so we will see definitely.
There we go.
So one spade that surprises me by Becker. I mean, he's got
Interesting.
spade and two working kings, but
Definitely better than 2 spades for sure, but not it's close.
that is a sorry looking spade suit.
Yep. It'll
So
definitely lead direct your partner to not giving up any tricks, I suppose, on this hand. But
so 11's going to just bid three clubs here. Now Rodwell's in a something of a spot. I mean, he's got some useful values. He doesn't have a spade stopper. He has an ace of hearts. He doesn't have a fitting club card, so he may just let it go in three clubs. Yeah, okay. So all right, this is going to end up being a nothing burger where the lucky three on Trump would have come in.
All right, so that's actually going to be probably just about the same as we saw as far as trick taking at the other table, and this is going to be a make of four hearts. It looks like.
Yeah, yeah. We thought four hearts was always going to make.
Yep, and that's all she wrote for day one, pretty much. I don't think we're going to have too much going on those last two boards. This one doesn't look like. I mean, I guess we could see how
So
they
let's see what
bid
happens.
this. What
That's, I mean,
you want to see how they bid this one at the other table?
at least the auction. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
yeah. Let's do that.
it's of interest, even if the final result is unlikely to swing any M's.
Yeah, so here they are just finishing up the club hand, and here comes the finesse, and it'll be very quick from this point forward, you would guess. Yeah, we're going to stick around and just let them bid that penultimate hand there. That's interesting. And Danny, thanks again for joining.
Yep.
Another day of talking bridge, always fun. Better than a real job.
I'll be back for tomorrow morning, first thing, and
Nice.
then
I'll be with you, and then I think we have a good panel tomorrow as well. Mikey Berkowitz at some point, maybe, or also Larry Cohen possibly at one point as well. So,
good.
and if it's a blowout, we'll take some sets off. I don't know if I'm going to do segment 2 tomorrow at all, so we might just do 1, 3, and 4 tomorrow. Back to my kind of regularly scheduled programming. I have some stuff that needs to get taken care of.
Life gets in the way.
It does sometimes.
I mean, this is how many days between the open trials was 8 days, and then
Then you took one day off, and then the mix started, and then
that
one
was
day
another
off.
this was 14, and this was another 6 day, 20 days worth of Ugraph to
Yep.
have that.
Yep. But we didn't do all of this, and we slowly built up to a lot of the mixed. But
Right. I mean, potentially you could have done 20 days
oh my
of
god, that would have
10
well
hours a day.
that would be
Ugraph.
fine if it actually pays a good living wage. But if it's gratis, I don't know.
We need a
Uh,
we need a actor to get this going, and maybe a sponsor, and maybe we can get like Coca-Cola to sponsor us
Man,
or something.
yeah, then we're talking. Then we can really put some money into the broadcast. But here we go again. You're expecting Becker to do the same exact thing.
I'm
Uh,
expecting that's good though. I would be shocked if
yeah,
it
you
wasn't.
you would expect two or three clubs from the north end,
Yeah.
and then it gets interesting, right? But I think the west end will definitely be very comfortable bidding a lot of hearts, no matter where it is at their next opportunity. And there's
Right.
two clubs.
Expected. I don't think Campbell's going to commit a negative double with this hand.
Yeah, with this ugly six count.
Yeah, he's got length in their suit. He doesn't have the right majors. He doesn't have enough high card points. He's got all kinds of flaws.
Yep.
I think Levin will raise to three clubs, and now Becker will volunteer three hearts and get raised to four. That's my guess.
Yeah, and if that does exactly happen, you can see why Camel would be bidding if you're watching at home. His partner opened one diamond and then bid freely at the 3 level.
Yeah.
But maybe Becker just gives it the heave ho here as well.
Well, I mean, bidding three hearts all by yourself,
Is a
contracting
lot.
for at least nine, if not 10 trips, if partner doesn't like your
There we
hearts,
go. Yep.
that's a showing hand this strong.
Yep. Exactly. And the confidence to. This isn't just a reverse, folks. It's a super reverse.
Yeah,
You're
not only are you forcing your partner to the four level, not just the three level, but they haven't shown anything yet.
exactly. There we
So
go. And that's how Michael knows what's going on, right? Just the inference of partner's massive strength that they've shown. Easy bid for him.
yeah, there's a potential over trick or two here going on with the ace king of spades are cashable, but they won't be. And then as we saw in the other room, you can rough out the jack of hearts and promote a trump trick for your partner if you rough in on the.
We expect the same exact lead here. It's just such an automatic king of clubs. You're never going to get away from this, and the
Yeah.
opponents are shaking the spade right away.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does at trick 2, just for the heck of it. It should be pretty quick here.
Yeah, he's going to pitch a spade and lead a diamond up. Feels normal. one of the themes on these sorts of hands is, especially when you have like a 5-3 fit and the opponents have built themselves a suit that they can tap you out in, is you want to try to establish your side suit winners before you go drawing trump.
Yep.
And that's the theme that as to why,
Because then you're not already tapped out of trumps when you go to lose tricks in your own suit. They
right.
can really take advantage of you. And
Yeah,
every advancing player out here has had the experience of going down a bunch when they lost control of a trump suit. So
yeah, sometimes you'll see a spot where you end up being able to they tap you out, but then you have a suit that you can tap them back out with and get back on
yeah.
track.
Have you ever played
That's
Klaviash, Dan?
I was taught claviage by a guy named Mike Golden about 40 years ago. Once again, another person from the Bergen Bridge Club.
That's a it's a that the whole trick to that game is finding your opponent's tap suit, basically. Like get them tapped out as quickly as you can so you can take the last trick. It's a great exercise for this sort of a thing.
Hmm. So Becker's thinking, I think he will come to the conclusion that this is the sort of hand he wants to play diamonds first. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. This is literally almost a carbon copy. It was the same at the other table with a thought at trick one and then this
Mhm.
play making it. Okay. We'll see if Rodwell can get the second part of this correct and rough with his six, because then that will give Bobby a heart trick on this hand.
He's thinking about it.
Yep. And it was an instant play pretty much at the other table. So the longer he thinks, probably the more likely he is to come to the conclusion that we did, that what what's the difference, right? This is probably, it may not matter, but what's the harm in trying?
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. Winner, winner, Eric Rodwell dinner.
Well, if they win the match by one,
Yeah.
this will be
We
the
will
many.
we will come back and point to this moment, because now, folks, he can take that one finesse, but now he didn't get to play the jack from dummy, so he cannot maintain his position there. So the king of hearts scores as well as a spade, and that is one imp to the lol side.
So
And
this is going to be a good match tomorrow. We're going to have 60 more boards. I think both sides still are going to be playing uh, both pairs 2 times.
I think so. I think that's what we saw today, and we see it's only 19 at this point, and the last board is very likely just to be a hand that gets chopped up. So,
This is another spot where you can see a difference in auction
well, if they
style.
get to 3-0, we can take a peek at it. But
My style actually is not to respond one heart with the East hand. I don't want to bid one spade, have partner raise me to two spades, and not really want to play spades when I really want to play hearts. So I would just, and this is something that Larry Cohen has been suggesting for years, just make a 2/1, establish the game
just bid two
force,
clubs here instead of one spade, you mean?
then establish, and yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Michael Campbell. I think he's more old school and he will respond to spade, but he and Larry are good friends from a way back as well. So he may also try the two club.
Yeah,
Uh,
there it is.
yeah, I like two clubs.
And now, well, now they can have a firmer discussion about maybe playing no trump, I suppose, at this point.
Well, West will bid two no trump and East will bid three hearts, and over that,
Well,
I mean,
we saw the auction get a little crowded out when it went new minor forcing three spades. Here they have at least. So he'll show his three card hard fit here. I mean, what do you think? What's Becker gonna do?
yeah, he's got Jack third of diamonds. That's not so great for
Yeah,
no trump.
ace double ten of clubs.
I mean, he might just punt with three spades, say,
Yeah,
well, really sure what we should do. It's a, it's
and
a,
if
it's
he
a.
does that, Camel will probably at least think hard about bidding 3-0, right? If it goes three spades to him.
I think he's going to be worried that even though two clubs didn't really show clubs, the fact that he's got three low clubs might scare him off no trump.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Because again, the two clubs is very likely. In fact, I can mouse over it. I'm sure it's the nebulous game force here. Could be short, so it could even be a two card club raise or club bid. Could it be
Certainly,
stiff or no?
um, rarely in my personal style.
Unless it's a four by no, then you would just be raising the major. So
Yeah,
find that to be
so
a weird hand.
over a spade, if I have a hand like 3, 5, 4, 1 with four hearts, I have like ace, queen, third of spades, queen, fifth of hearts, ace, fourth of diamonds, and a stiff club. I don't want to, once again, I don't want to bid two hearts. I have partner raise to three hearts when I really want to play
Yeah, here they
spades.
go.
I would bid two clubs with that sort of shape. But generally, it's two or more. And here we see Becker doesn't even bother.
Yeah, he just and he can't like you were saying as well with Jack third of diamonds, ace and one of clubs. He's found a hard fit. He's probably happy as a clam, so that's about it. And that is about it for us, Danny. I'll see you in the first set tomorrow morning.
One more thing to say about this game before we go.
Yeah, go, bud.
If this was played in, say, the open trials with 8 tables, I bet the auction would go 1 to 3 now a lot too.
100%. Yeah, exactly. In fact, this West hand would probably open a no trump more than half the time, I would say. But
Yeah.
that's just the way that event went. And a lot of people playing 14 to 16 there as well, and different ranges. That's a great point.
All
So
right. Yep. All right. Let's call it a night.
yeah, good night from all over the place, especially to you over there in London, David. Get some sleep and join us in the afternoon tomorrow. Later, everybody. Take care. Danny, thanks again, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Be good.